Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me here today on this video. My name is Angela and thank you for coming and spending a little time out with me today. So in this video I want to talk about a question that I get asked quite a lot, and it's all about how do you manage the weight loss journey when you're on holiday. And funnily enough, this was a perfect question because I've just returned from my all-inclusive holiday in Turkey and I've lost weight. Stay with me and let's dive right in, guys. Hi guys, thank you for being here. Now, if you've ever wanted to know how do you manage the weight loss journey when you're on holiday, then we're going to dive into this topic today. Now, for so many people, holidays is something that we look forward to. It may be the only holiday that we've had throughout the year, but if you're lucky enough, you might have 2 or 3 holidays throughout the year, but each one can bring its own challenge. You may have saved up all year, you've worked really hard, you've planned it meticulously, you've looked forward to it. You might be going with your family, your friends, your children. It's really, really important. Even if you're going on your own, it is really important. And holidays are there to be enjoyed. So when we're on a weight loss journey, it may also be that we've really worked hard to lose weight, to get in shape for the holiday, and it's so easy to let it all go by the wayside for that 1 or 2 weeks per year. So if that's you, if you've ever wondered how to best manage the journey, then maybe my story might give you some tips and ideas. So as I said, I've just returned from an all-inclusive week-long holiday in Izmir, Kusadasi in Turkey. It was absolutely beautiful, 5-star hotel, everything we wanted. Now, I have made a video of the hotel and just some of the facilities that was available. I will drop a link in the comment section below if you want to check that video out. But it was absolutely fantastic. On tap was a buffet breakfasts, lunches and dinners with, goodness me, so much food. And at the end of this video I will show you, I've got some clips of the type of foods that was available in the buffets. On top of all of that was the a la carte restaurants that you could book and go to. It was all included, so there was no extra charge, but there was 4 restaurants. There was a Mexican restaurant, Italian restaurant, a fish restaurant, and of course a Turkish restaurant. And I ate out at 3 of those. The only restaurant I didn't do was the fish restaurant, only because I didn't have enough time. We ran out of time and we had to book them in advance. But on top of that, there was a lunch buffet with the most delicious, freshly baked in front of you. They baked the pizzas, which was absolutely amazing. They had the most incredible fried chicken, crispy and tender and juicy, off the bone, absolutely delicious. On top of that, if that wasn't enough, there was a cake shop on site that you could go along and get cake and a cup of tea. There was ice creams all day long, and of course the all-inclusive alcohol. There was a huge amount of food. But despite all of that, I came back and I lost weight. I lost 1 pound in that week. Now, if you've been following me on my journey, you know that I've lost now to date 134 pounds. But I'm going to give you some clues and some tips. I'm going to give you some tips on how I personally manage an all-inclusive holiday so that I don't blow all my hard work just for 7 days. I'll share some tips with you on how I eat throughout the week so that I'm not deprived. I'm thoroughly enjoying my meals along with my family and friends, and how I've managed to lose weight. So the first thing I want to share with you is, if you can hear the cats, I do apologise. The first thing I want to share with you is this. When people start a weight loss journey, they often think that it's about food. Now, I'm not going to deny that food is a really important part of the journey, but more important than that is this. It's the mindset. And as a coach, I really am focused on how my clients to really focus in on the mindset. And I'll tell you why. So many diets and programs and plans focusing on the food, and when we start on a weight loss journey, it's so easy to get obsessed about food, and for the first 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks or 5 weeks even, we may be really fixated on the food. We may even become overwhelmed with what to eat, how much to eat, how to cook it, you know, what's the best this or what's the best that. But eventually we run out of steam. Now, in those first couple of weeks, people do lose weight, and they can lose a lot of weight. As a coach, I've seen people lose huge amounts of weight in the first 2 or 3 weeks. Weeks 1, 2 and 3. But after that, their weight tend to plateau, and then they can often start to regain weight. And that can often be because of the reason I've just mentioned. At the start, they become so obsessed with food. And whilst food has a place, what's going to get you to your goal and going to get you across that finish line and is going to make the journey really doable is not focusing on food. It's not focusing on activity. It's focusing on your mindset. And I was on a community session yesterday, and I explained that my mindset is like a river. Now, I've worked for the past 2 to 3 years on my mindset, on my journey. I've been on my journey now 5 years and 10 months. And for the best part of 3 years, I was really focused in on the food because that's what I thought I needed to do to lose weight. And to be fair, I did lose about 4 stone, but then when COVID came, I regained a lot of that weight. Not all of it, but a fair bit. But then in August 2022, I had an epiphany, and I realised it's not about the food. It's not about the food. It's about the mindset. Get the mindset right, and weight loss then starts to follow. So I described last night that my mindset is like a river, and a river flows and it runs. And in a riverbed, you will have stones and bricks and boulders and stones. But even if you have a massive boulder, which could represent a life event, could represent a holiday, it could represent stress at work, whatever those stones and pebbles are in the river, the water will always find a way to flow. It will flow over the rocks and stones and boulders, it'll run around it, it'll run underneath it, it'll even make its way through it. And years ago, when I thought about that concept, I thought, right, that's it. I want my mindset to be just like that. That no matter what comes along, whether I'm stressed at work, whether I'm happy, whether I've got a family event, whether I've got a wedding or a funeral, whether I've got a new job, or whatever the scenario is, it represents those boulders, rocks, stones in that river. But my mindset has to flow. It has to keep flowing. So I started really working on my mindset to the point now that when I coach people, It's not about food or activity, it's about the mindset. Because when you get that mindset right, you can achieve anything and everything. So for the past 2.5 years, I've been really focusing in on my mindset and recognizing that I'm in control, that I have to be in control, and every day I put myself in control. So that being said, in the run up to my holiday, there wasn't the mindset of I need to lose some pounds before I go, or I need to get in the gym and work out. No, the past couple of years I've not thought like that, because I've built healthy habits every single day. I a couple of years ago decided to sit and really focus in on the habits that I wanted to build, that I needed to build to help me to lose my weight. I have a goal of 140 pounds and I'm 134 down, so not far off. But I thought about what are the habits that I can build every single day that's going to help me change my life, improve my health, and get me to where I want to be. And those habits weren't about let me do it for a month before I can go on holiday. It wasn't about a short period of time so that I could achieve the body that I wanted just for a holiday. It wasn't about Christmas or Easter's coming, so I need to lose a few pounds so that I can have a split. No, my mindset wasn't there. My mindset was about I want to build habits that I can do for the rest of my life, every single day, or at least 80% of my time. Habits that was really truly sustainable. So I sat down and I started to think about what is truly doable for me, and what is it that I'm going to do today that I will be able to do for the next 20, 30, 40 years. And it's taken me time to find those habits, to put them in place, to refine them and to work on them. So it doesn't happen overnight. It's a work in progress. When I started doing that and working on that every single day, there was no need for me now to start stressing about the scales or is this sustainable, because I put myself in control. Now, since I've done that, I put myself in control where I now focus in on weighing monthly. But I say that the past 2 years I've weighed monthly, but now probably once every 2 months I will weigh myself. And the habits that I have in place, I do every single day. So in the run up to the holiday, I was just doing what I was doing, business as usual. When I was on holiday, again, business as usual. I saw all the plethora of food, and as I mentioned, I've put a video at the end around, some of the food choices that we had, and that was just a small amount. I was like, do you know what? Because I'm not on a diet, that diet mentality has gone for me. I was able to look at that food and make mindful choices because I know a little bit about food. I've educated myself about food and what food works for me and my body. And I was able to make those choices, and also the portion sizes. So whilst on holiday, there's going to be lots of different foods that I don't have in my everyday life. So I was loving the kebabs, and that fried chicken was just amazing. All the Turkish a la carte, the Italian pastas on that alicote, the Mexican was just amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed all of those delights with my family and friends. And we would sit down and we would order and was eating. But because I'm a mindful eater, and that is something that I do every single day of my life, I will order whatever I wanted, but I eat really slowly. And I have small portions. So, you know, they serve you a regular portion, and I would just eat half of it, sometimes 2/3 of it if it was really nice. But other times I was just like, do you know what? Just 1 or 2 mouthfuls is enough for me. So that was how I personally managed my journey, because I have habits in place that I've been living and practicing for the past 2.5 years. Now, the only area that I did overindulge in was the alcohol. But I did give myself permission to have about 3 or 4 cocktails maximum every day. But that was balanced out with lots of water as well to keep hydrated, and moving around the resort, going on day trips, and just swimming in the sea, which was amazing, meant that every day I was clocking up between 15 and 20,000 steps. So everything was balancing itself out. But because I'm a mindful eater anyway, and I just eat in moderate amounts of all the foods that I love, the only real difference was the alcohol. And I would treat myself to an ice cream every single day, but I did that without guilt. When you give yourself permission, do it without guilt, because that puts you in control. And that's what I did. Now, in terms of the food choices that I would go for, well, you know what, let's be honest, an all-inclusive meal, all-inclusive buffet is pretty standard. There's copious amounts of fried food, huge amount of carbohydrates like breads, lots and lots of sweet treats full of sugar, all of those things. Now, because I'm a mindful eater, I'm like, okay, how am I going to tackle this? So I'm going to go in for the protein. So because I understand how protein impacts my body, that's going to be my first choice. I also understand how carbohydrates like breads and pastas, how those impact my body. And I know for me, it leaves me feeling really bloated, really sluggish. I didn't want that for myself on a daily basis. So my meals would be focused in first on the protein and then on the salads. Now, Mediterranean, Greek and Turkish salads are just delicious, and I would create myself the most amazing salad dishes with my protein base in there. So I would have a plate of salad, I would have some freshly fried chips, and I would also have a piece of fried chicken. Just one, but that would be how I would have a meal. I might even throw a little slice of pizza in there just for a little bit of extra carbs. That would be my lunch. My breakfast would be something like fruit or yogurt. They also had the most, oh my days, I wish I could have brought some home. Honey, literally on the honeycomb, oh my days. And one morning I treated myself to a chunk of fresh honey from the honeycomb. Literally cut it off the honeycomb, and I had some bread, and I would toast the bread and just spread my honey on it. It was absolutely totally divine. But apart from that, in the mornings, again, I'd go for my protein. I would go for my eggs, usually fried, with a little bit of bread, and I'm job done. Yeah, I take some fruit with me. And then for my dinner, again, usually a la carte, or it would be something from the buffet. But again, that structure, getting my protein, getting my fibre, and getting my fruits and veggies in. So that has been my structure that I live by every single day. Now, I do try still on my journey every single day, not just for holidays, but I try to reduce the amount of processed foods, the ultra processed foods. But on holiday, having a little isn't going to hurt. So I would just have a little of ultra processed foods, such as the chips and the cake and the cookies, just a little. So that is how I manage my holiday. I'm still having all the foods that I love, trying different foods, having small portions because that's what I'm used to, and indulging in my alcohol, my cocktails, and an ice cream every day. Well, you can't not have ice cream when you're on holiday with the grandkids. Come on. But balancing it out with my activity and also my water. But funnily enough, I wasn't necessarily thinking I've got to be active. No, it was from a place of I'm having fun with my grandkids, swimming in the sea, walking around the complex. So it wasn't from a perspective of I need to move because I want to lose weight. It was, no, I'm moving because I want to enjoy my time with my grandchildren. So, you're coming at it from a different perspective. So how do you manage your holidays? I'd love to know. Drop a comment down. Let me know if you plan to lose weight before the holiday and then you have a massive blowout whilst you're on holiday, or do you take a different approach? Maybe you're mindful every single day, and then when you when you are on holiday, it's business as usual. Do let me know. I'd love to know. Drop a comment below. Now, here's a little tip for you guys. When coming back from holiday, especially when you're flying, a lot of people will carry excess fluids. You might have a little swelling in your feet, in your legs, and in your hands. So my tip is, whenever I come back from holiday, I never get on the scales straight away. Now, some people do, that helps them. But for me, I never, ever, ever do that, because it's never going to be a true reflection, especially when you have got fluid retention. So I always wait a day, at least a day. So when I came back we flew in on the Wednesday morning, early hours of the morning, and on Wednesday throughout the day, I could look at my hands, I could look at my legs, and I could see that they were puffy. Not as puffy as they have been in the past, and I'm going to come to that in a minute. But I had just a small amount of fluid. So I left it for a day, drank lots of water, kept myself hydrated, rested, had my feet elevated. The following day, all of that had gone. Then I get on the scale, and that is now going to give me a true reflection. And when I did that, 1 pound off. Now, I know that if I'd have stepped on the scale immediately when I came back, I'd have probably been showing maybe stay the same at best, or even half a pound gain. So if seeing a gain is going to impact your mindset, then I'd say wait a day or two until your your fluid retention has gone. Now, it's interesting because the past couple of years, in the past 2.5 years, since I've been eating mindfully and yeah, being more mindful about what I eat and drink every day, including when I'm on holiday, I've seen a massive change. I remember the days I used to come back from holiday having had a massive blowout, stepped on the scale, and at one point I'd got back from America, I was 10 pounds. I'd gained 10 pounds. And I remember thinking, how on earth? But now I realise that that was a lot of fluid retention, not necessarily fat gain. But also my mindset back then was, let's just blow it. I'm on holiday. And I got back and I was so bloated. I felt really uncomfortable. I felt rotten. And for me, being on holiday should mean that I'm coming back and I'm feeling amazing. You know, a week in the sunshine, relaxing, having delicious food. I should come back feeling rejuvenated and refreshed. I did this time, and I have done in the past 2 or 3 years. But previously, at the start of my journey, I would come back and I would feel rotten. And I was like, right, I need a holiday to recover from the holiday. And I've realised, reflecting, that that has all been about my choices: overeating, over drinking, and indulging in high carbs and ultra processed food. Now, you know, it's your holiday, guys. It's your holiday. You choose what you want to do, what you want to eat, how you want to feel. You choose that. I'm not here suggesting anything for anybody. I'm just telling you how I now manage my holidays. So I come back from my holiday, very little water retention, get on the scale, 1 pound off, feel amazing. I've got my little tan, sporting my little tan, just feeling incredible. None of the bloating that I would have experienced. So yeah, that is how I've managed. And the other thing I just quickly want to share with you is, when you check out the video footage that I've put about the food that's in the restaurant at the end, it's so easy to go crazy. It was so easy for me to go crazy because the selection was just incredible. Absolutely incredible, as you'll see. So what I decided to do, I gave my permission to have 2, maybe 3 different desserts all on one plate. But I would walk around and I would just really enjoy everything with my eyes, looking how it was presented. It was beautifully presented, how it was constructed, and really enjoying that. But then going for things that I don't normally have. So there was lots of cakes and cookies that was drenched in syrup. I decided to try one, as opposed to the 3 or 4 I would have tried a few years ago. Tried one, absolutely delicious. They did the most incredible biscotti cake. I thought that looks amazing. Decided to have one. The party that I went with, the couples would be sharing them. That's how big they were. But for me, I was just having 2 or 3 spoonfuls, and that was it. And I know it was wasteful, but I would rather just have 2 or 3 spoonfuls and enjoy the taste and the texture and be done with that. So that's what I did, because it wasn't every night that I wanted fruit. You know, sometimes I did want to indulge in all of those incredible desserts and all of those incredible foods. But yeah, you know, enjoy it. So guys, let me know what you do. How do you manage your holidays? Do you manage it in a way that I do? Maybe you want to start managing your journey in a mindful way. Maybe your mindset is like, you know what, I'm good. I'm just going to thoroughly enjoy everything that the holiday has to offer, and I'm going to get back on track when I get home. Do let me know. And that's another little point for you, because I eat mindfully every single day of my life, whether I'm on holiday or not. There is no getting back on track. I don't think, right, I need to get back on track. That's completely foreign to me now, because every day I'm on track, because I'm in control. So guys, there you go. That is how I manage my holidays, and I hope I've given you some food for thought or a few little tips. Now, if you want to know more, then do check out my videos. I do post, you know, there's a catalogue of videos that I share about my journey. I've also got the podcast, and there's more episodes coming, so do check out the podcast. It's on Spotify as well. Head over there. It's called Time Out for Weight Loss on Spotify, so do check that out. But if you're watching this on YouTube, then click that subscribe button and hit that, yeah, that's it. Click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and as soon as I upload another video, you will be notified. And check out the playlists as well, guys. There's a playlist with all the podcast episodes so far. And if you have a story that you would like to share and would like to be on the podcast, then do message me or leave a comment below. Okay guys, so if you've got this far in the video, stay watching, because I've got some footage about all of that incredible food from our holiday. Okay guys, thank you so much for being with me today. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care now. Bye bye.